Hey, everybody. I am hopping on live again this week. This is my new challenge for myself is to be coming live once per week. Now, because of my work schedule, sorry, that was my notification on my phone. I should have a list of things I should do before I go live, like get the dog outside, turn notifications off. Okay, now I don't remember what I was talking about, but so I wanted to tell you guys this really funny story. So I was driving home from the cities Sunday, and I was listening to this new book called, well, it's not new, it's new to me. It's called Essentialism by Greg McKeown. I'm looking at notes over here on my page. So if you see me glance over, I'm looking at my notes because I want to make sure I say everything. Okay, so I was listening to this book in the car. My kids were all doing whatever they were doing in the car. And so I had the opportunity to listen. So I was listening and it was talking about editing, and it's a really interesting book. I recommend it, but I really think the audio version would be a lot better. That's what I'm listening to. And so over the weekend, my mom had me playing this game. You guys probably all play it. I'm slow on all of this stuff, but it's called Wordscapes. It's got it looks like a crossword puzzle, and then you get like letters and you have to try and make all these words. So I'm driving, I'm hearing this book, and he's talking about editing and about the Academy Awards and how everybody looks forward to this, the best motion picture or whatever. And he said, what's interesting is that the film that wins that, they also usually win in the category of editing. I had no idea. So as he was saying the word edit over and over, all of a sudden my brain went into this like the game mode, and I was like, wait a minute, edit and diet. Like, wait a minute, EDIT, DIET. Oh my gosh. And then my brain just exploded with idea babies. That's a word I think that I use, idea babies, where I have all these amazing ideas and it's super fun. And so it really got me thinking. I put the book on pause, and then I just took a ton of notes of myself talking. And so I just wanted to share a couple of those things with you because I feel like when we talk about the word diet, it insinuates that it's temporary and that you're going to get to a final destination. But the truth of it is there really is no final destination, right? There's always going to be something that we're after, and our weight loss needs to come from the mindset that we want to permanently change our life. And so I want us to kind of get away from the word diet and maybe go into the word edit. So I came up with these thoughts about weight loss, and I think they are some of the keys to permanent weight loss. And so here they are. So we need to edit our thinking. Now, if you follow me at all or you've read any of my blogs, I talk a lot about our thoughts, and I'll spare you some of that right now, but I love thinking about our thoughts. And because of our prefrontal cortex, we are able to think about our thinking, just kind of trippy to think about. So when it comes to our thoughts, and what we need to edit is we need to become aware of them, notice that we're thinking them, and then we need to completely edit out the negative self-talk. Now, if you're anything like me, I did a lot of the verbal beatdowns, right? Such negative self-talk. And I can tell you this with 100% certainty. You will not permanently lose weight until you can talk nicely to yourself. You cannot beat yourself thin. It doesn't happen. If it were the case, I don't think that there would be anybody who was overweight walking around. But so we need to learn how to edit our thoughts. We need to edit our food. Now, last week when I went live, I kind of talked about some of the food things. And I just really want us to think about editing our food, right? We are going to have to take some things out, mainly sugar, flour, and alcohol if we want to lose weight. Now, we don't have to take it away permanently, but what you might find out is that when it's out of your body, you feel so good. When you're consuming all of that stuff, you don't even know how terrible it's making you feel until you take a break. And the reason why I teach my clients to take a break from sugar and flour and alcohol is because it really is the best way to lose weight more quickly. Now, I don't want to be like, oh, this is this quick and easy thing, because the way that I teach weight loss, it is not quick. It is not a fad. It's nothing like that. It is like permanent, long term, long gain weight loss. Gain. I shouldn't have said that. um, so we need to also completely edit out snacking. We have got to stop snacking. Snacking is not essential. We don't need it, especially if we have extra weight on our body. We do not need snacks. Okay, Corinne Crabtree, she's one of the coaches that I learned from about weight loss. She's amazing and she's so successful and she's lost 100 pounds. And one of her favorite quotes that I like to use is, snacks are fertilizer for a fat ass. We have got to stop snacking. That's all I'm going to say. I wrote a long blog about snacking. It's kind of one of my soapboxy type things, but we really need to get away from the snacking. Even healthy snacks, okay? Not necessary, don't need it. We also need to edit our time. Now, this is one of the main obstacles for weight loss that I will be writing a blog about in the near future. It's one of the things I get a lot of people that come to me and want help with is time management. So when we're thinking about our time and editing, one of the things that kind of came into my head is we need to edit the time that we're eating. Just because it's 8 o'clock does not mean you should be eating breakfast. Just because it's noon doesn't mean you should be eating lunch. We have developed this belief system that we need to eat 3 times per day. And so we have to question, like, why do we want to eat at that time? Do you eat breakfast in the morning when you're not hungry? Why would you do that? Really think about that and question that. I want you to only eat when you are physically hungry. If it's 8 o'clock and you normally eat breakfast and you're not hungry, don't eat because you think it's going to prevent some future hunger. Okay, that is such a lie our brain tells us, especially if you're in HEMS or EMS. Listen, this is a big one. It's like, well, I better eat now. I don't have anything else going on. We're not busy. I better get something in my stomach, right? Such a lie. When we eat when we're not hungry, that is all being stored as fat. Listen, that's not what we want to do. So I really want you to think about editing your time that you're eating. Only eat when you're hungry. And this one is big here, you guys, is stopping eating when you're satisfied, not full. Eating to fullness, right, is overeating. So we need to stop when we're satisfied. And that is very hard to hear. It's just a faint little whisper. Okay. So let's see. Oh, your time. Listen, I hear this all the time. I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I've got so much going on, right? We use this as an excuse not to get things done. We wear this as a badge of honor, right? That we're so busy. We have to stop that. If you're trying to lose weight, you have got to plan your day. You have to plan your food. Okay, we don't want to do that, but it is essential to do. Now, most of us think the thought that we're busy and then we feel busy. And then usually if we feel busy, we're not doing a lot of things except for thinking about how busy we are and we're doing some tasks, but we're probably really not that busy. We feel busy when we're doing things like watching TV or making dinner. Those are things that we're doing, but what I really want you to hear about this whole busyness thing is, are you really that busy? What can you edit out of your busyness? Have you ever thought about that before? I don't know. I know this is going to maybe not be super helpful to some of you, and you might not even see that you say this all the time and you're kind of creating your own busyness. Okay, we need to really watch what we're doing. What can you edit out of your day that's not giving you the results that you want in your life? Okay, so the other one, I only have 4. This is the last one. One of the other things we need to edit is our habits. What are some of the habits that you have that are not serving you? Could be Netflix. It could be hitting the snooze button. Any of you snoozers out there? I share a bedroom with the snoozer. He will hit snooze like 7 times, unless by the 4th time, like I'm literally kicking him out of the bed. Okay, hitting the snooze button. Oh man, I did a challenge on no snooze. Put $100 in this competition to not hit the snooze button. I can't tell you how life-changing that was. Really, it was. So hitting the snooze really just delays us. We're procrastinating getting up. So is that a bad habit you have? Hitting the snooze button? Snacking? Is that a big habit? Are you always late for things? How can you edit those habits, right, in your life? If they're not serving you, why do we do them? I know one of the habits that I have, I still have it, I question it a lot, is drinking coffee in the morning. I don't need the caffeine. I feel like I have a lot of energy anyways, but I really like it. I like the habit of it. I like the smell of it. I like preparing it, right? And it serves me a little bit. It gives me a little bit of, that caffeine, but I probably don't need it. At this point, it doesn't have any negative consequences, other than I would get a headache if I didn't drink it. Okay, so for weight loss, we need to create some lifelong habits. And here are some. I know you guys aren't going to love these, but I talk to my clients a lot about this. Number 1 is we have to get in the habit of weighing ourselves every day. Now, some people, like Corinne, for example, she has her clients weigh on Fridays. Most of my clients are in healthcare. We're paramedics, nurses, flight physicians, stuff like that. Okay, we don't have normal schedules. A Friday is like a Monday. So I just kind of am like, you know what? You could probably weigh yourself every single day. And I, I do a lot of coaching on the scale. I mean, like, I'm not on the scale, but like what our thoughts are about weighing ourselves every day. Okay. Remember, number 1 was our thoughts and how we have to remove the negative self talk. Stepping on a scale every day is a great way to bring up those thoughts for most of us. Okay, so that's a habit we need to create every day. We're going to edit that in. Instead of edit out, we're editing in. Planning our food ahead of time. Listen, permanent weight loss is going to come from planning. I know nobody wants to hear this. I know, but that's just your brain. That's just your primitive brain being like, it's too hard. I don't know what to plan. Okay, that is all just some justifications. And I really want you to hear me say this. Everybody that I know, and I know a lot of people who've had permanent weight loss, okay, the number 1 thing that they say is that they have to keep planning. Because the second we don't, we put it on the back burner, our primitive brain starts running the program. And your primitive brain would much rather eat hamburger and french fries versus a salad. Okay, so we have to plan it ahead of time. Now you can plan it a week ahead of time, you can plan it the day of or the night before, right? But it really is important. You also have to plan your time. I think this is another big one in our industry, right? Is like, well, I didn't work today, or like I worked last night. So I didn't put a lot of stuff on my calendar today because I knew that I needed to sleep. Could have been super easy for me to be like, well, I'll put this and this and this on, right? You really have to plan our time out. And I know we don't want to. I know we think it's not spontaneous and we like to be able to do kind of whatever. But I'm saying if we want to have weight loss and we want to take control of our life, we have to plan. And I plan for um, relaxing time. I plan for time with my friends, for going on walks. Okay, all of that, that all needs to go on your calendar so that you can plan for it. Another thing you need to edit into your life is journaling. Listen, you might not want to call it journaling. I call it writing a thought download. I take all these thoughts, 60,000 of them on average, and put them on paper every morning. You can do it in the morning, you can do it in the evening. Listen, you've got to be writing this stuff down. My mentor, she says, you need to know two things if you want to lose weight. You need to know what you're thinking, and you need to know what you're eating. So, two types of journaling here. Our thought download, and then you need to be writing down what you're eating. It shouldn't be in an app because calories in, calories out doesn't matter. I don't want anybody tracking calories. Okay. I just want you to write down what you're eating. And I do a lot of coaching on this, and there's a lot of resistance to it, but I'm going to tell you again, this is so important. If you write down what you're eating, that's just data. That's just numbers, right? I mean, not really numbers because we're not weighing or anything like that, weighing the food, but it's just like information. So when clients come to me and they say, I haven't lost any weight for 2 weeks, I'll say, well, let's take a look at your food journal. How many of them do you think have accurate food journals? It's hard for me to help you if I don't know exactly what you're eating. Okay, so that's why it's so important. I write down every day what I'm going to eat, and then I make a little line if I ate it, and if I didn't, I write down what I did eat. Okay, so keeping a food journal is very important. Listen, your brain's going to want to overcomplicate this and be like, well, I don't have a journal, and I don't have this, and I don't have that. It's like, it doesn't matter. Don't overcomplicate it. Write it down on a Post-it note for all I care and keep it in a notebook. I don't know. I have 3 kids, and I have so many leftover notebooks and folders. It's like exploding at my house, right? So I just take one of their crappy notebooks and I just start writing stuff in there. Doesn't have to be fancy. Doesn't have to be a fancy food journal. Okay, don't overcomplicate it. Another habit you need to have and you need to create, edit into your life, is drinking a lot of water. Not 4 glasses of water, like 80 ounces of water or up to a gallon. I really try to drink a gallon of water every day. It's so good for so many reasons. Another thing we need to edit and add into our life, prioritizing your sleep. So many of you that are in my group are paramedics and nurses, and we have crazy schedules. We don't get a lot of sleep. We don't go to bed every night at the same time. We don't do all this. So this is a fantastic excuse for us to be like, I don't sleep well, and use that as kind of a derailment. Here's the deal. When we're really tired and fatigued, the only solution is sleep and rest. Rest even. It is not food. And I know a lot of us go to food in order to get that energy to like get us going, keep us going. Hear the dog? Somebody must be walking by. Sorry. Hopefully you don't hear it. So this is one of the basics that I teach in it. I say we need to learn how to protect and prioritize our sleep. You can agree or disagree with me, but sleep is so important for weight loss. I know we intellectually know this, but I really want you to hear that it is so important. Okay. We need to get sleep. Like 8.5 hours is like the perfect optimized fat burning sleep. Now, it's not reality for everybody, right? But what I want you to make a commitment to is to really protecting that sleep. That means having alerts off of your phone, making sure your room is just the way it's supposed to be. Don't make all these plans for things, right? Protect that sleep that you are going to get so that it's good quality sleep. You might have to sleep during the day, you might have to sleep at night. I'm just saying you have to be really aware of it. Let's see. Oh, and then I think I already talked about this. Only eating when you are physically hungry. This is so important. You'll hear me say it all the time, right? We need to only eat when we're hungry, and we need to stop eating when we're satisfied. So, anyways, that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. My little idea baby was just, this kind of play on words. I like stuff like that. And so I thought it was kind of fun. Instead of saying diet, let's just say we're editing. We're either adding in, we're taking out, creating some new habits, and just really becoming aware. I heard a really interesting quote today, and it said, awareness creates space. But that was kind of interesting. When we become aware of what we're thinking, we have the space to make a decision. So there you go. I will hopefully see you guys next week in an update on my had last week when I went live, I was procrastinating because I had to go to the dentist. It went fine. Got my cavity filled. My mouth was really sore for a couple of days, but that's the way it goes. Now I might or might not be procrastinating from doing something else, maybe cooking dinner. But I already knew what I was going to eat today because I already had it planned. All right, you guys, so fun to see you. Have a great day, and I will see you sometime next week. Bye.